occupies a very important role. You'll be know about it. That sun and the moon occupy very astrologically also they occupy a very important. Moon rules the mind and the heart, isn't it? So but thereby, moon is also a very important aspect to be considered. Now, this aspect of knowledge is both from the astrological point of view and also from the tantra. So, how the tantra and the astrology is so very closely connected, because people who know tantra or people who know astrology also know that.
No, is that I am just remembering a yoni that was with a big yoni that was with 14 yonis inside of 50.
So that's the Nitya Devis, what you're talking about. Because the Tripura Sundari is there, the main one. Now Tripura Sundari would become you can call her the 15th, you can call her the 16th, in which all the other Shaktis merge. The different aspects of we have the, I think we give the names of the things. Yeah. So
tell me, how is the moon associated with the female in this thinking?
Emotions, mind.
So the moon is associated
because
with the emotions
Ida,
of the female Shakti.
I don't know whether one can dissect it like that, because when you say Shakti, it just includes everything. You can't.
But I'm saying Shakti because I thought that's what you meant when you said that you can't forget the moon. So the moon is very important in all this.
Yeah, in all this, as in when you understand it from the tantric and from the astrological point of view, because you see when you understand.
The tantric is also female, isn't it? Female Shakti.
Tantra is both Shiva and Shakti. Tantra is not alone.
I thought moon was always associated with female energy.
Yeah, so because the Ida Nadi, no? See, the Pingala is the sun Nadi, Ida is the moon Nadi, and Sushumna is the central channel. So, in the realization of the final thing, you need the energy. You need both the Ida and the Pingala. You can't alone work with one Nadi. So, Ida is the Vama. She is also called the Vama. Devi is also called as Vama. Vama is the left. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. In that, there is one line, it says, Shiva, she occupies the left, and that's why in the Hindu tradition, wife always, at the wedding, wife is always on the left.
Always on the left.
Because left is your heart. On the left lap of, the left side of the.
Yes.
Yeah. So left also is the heart chakra, heart of that. So there are these. But these people who know a lot about astrology, who know a lot about tantra, depending on the waxing and the waning of the moon, that tithis are calculated, and the auspicious dates and this, that, and all that is being said. Shiva Shakti Bija in one of the texts. This is also referred to as in one of the texts.
This one.
Hrimkara. Hrimkara. Forget about Hrimkari. Hrimkara is also referred to as Shiva Shakti Bija. And that could be the reason. The reason could be because you have the word Hara. Hara is Shiva. Right? When Hara becomes Hri, then it becomes feminine.
Hrimkara is the beach, what?
Shiva Shakti Bija.
Shiva Shakti Bija.
And my guess is this, that Hra or Hra is Hara also.
Yeah.
Right? And Ra is the important thing in any of these Bijas or anything, because it brings these different aspects. Like Ha and Ma is bringing in together as Hrim. So Ra becomes the kind of a conjunction to bring them together. So this being so, and if we go by Saundarya Lahari, then you understand that it could also be a manifestation of Shiva Shakti Bija. Be as it may, even if it's a Shiva Shakti Bija, in this Hrimkari, the Veds say, because we are also going on the presumption that Shiva and Shakti are not two separate ones, but are the Prakasha and the Vimarsha aspect of it. It says she provides the I-ness to the I. But in order to bring it to the world of beings, this absolute also has to get translated into something more than is the Shakti. So the Vimarsha aspect of it. So she is the Vimarsha. So the Prakasha and Vimarsha being together could well be that this is also a Shiva Shakti Bija.
And it's a very beautiful Shastra, but I was reading and I noticed that the Absolute was seen like the Devi, like it was like kind of feminine.
See, they're all saying that there is a version that 2nd century, but mostly it is 6th and 7th century.
And from Bengal
Which part of the world?
or
It could be Bengal, it could be Orissa.
Do you think that is more in that area?
Yeah.
Oh,
From the east.
Because you see, when you read the Anuttara Yoga Tantra in Buddhist, through the Buddhist thing, the terminology is one and the same. You have the Nada, Bindu, Lalana, Nadi, all of them are the same, you know.
Then how do they?
No, it's
It's a Buddhist tantra.
But you know, the only thing is that what is the point of realization? Here, you realize the Brahman. Okay. Now, the Brahman has to be realized. When the Brahman is realized and eternal. Whereas for Buddhism, there is nothing called eternal because everything is in flux.
Impermanence.
Impermanence, right? But so what do they realize? They realize the emptiness.
Right.
Okay.
So
now,
they
what is this
Brahman.
emptiness? Emptiness is not lack or devoid of anything. So, emptiness is the interdependences of causes and conditions. Because when the causes and conditions arise, during the transmigration, during the transference of the because there is a very graphic description of the process of death.
Right.
Okay, the subtle, the gross body dissolving
subtle body,
into and ultimately final thing. Now this final thing that they call it as in Sanskrit they call it as santana. That's why you have the word santana, means somebody who takes forward your progeny, your lineage, isn't it? That's why it's called santana. The mind stream, it's called in English, it's called continuum. So that is eternal. Whereas they say that even during that process of transference, it can go through a stage of flux. Perhaps that is the reason that they have this 42 days or 47 days of Bardo when they talk about. They are constantly praying and they're guiding the soul that, don't get stuck here, don't get stuck there. The intermediary stage, as they call it. And Bardo happens even while we live also, there are Bardos from one stage to the other.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
If this Bardo, when you are changing from one state of consciousness and if you are awake and you are going to sleep, you pass by this neutral
That's
space.
Bardo, you are going through Bardo.
And then you go to the sleep, and from the sleep you go to the dream, and you pass also like in a car in the neutral. So
that's also Bardo. Okay. Bardo does not mean only at the dissolution of the gross body that you experience Bardo. Bardo is experienced in our day-to-day life. Only thing is we don't pay attention to it.